You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Hey, Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com, and you're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm so excited to be here on another episode, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be taking a question from an email because I know that a lot of you guys email me with questions, and forgive me that I'm not able to get to a lot of them. But you know what? Coming up here, I'm going to start to tackle these. I had my customer service guy, Joe, go ahead and make a whole list of these amazing questions that you guys have, and I'm here to answer them. So I'm going to be starting here with this guy named Andrew. I'm not going to say his full name to keep you anonymous, so don't worry. But Andrew is talking about his appearance here, and this is what he asks. He says, I'm 36, been divorced for 3 years now, and I'm ready to start getting back into the dating game slowly but surely. I've tried a few apps and met 4 to 5 women from those apps, but nothing has gone past date number 1. Now, Andrew, if you have gotten hooked online, my new program, then I suggest you get that, because you should go through that to learn how to get girls to successfully meet up with you on dates, but then also learn how to kill it on those dates. Okay. So he says, one of these dates puzzled me though. Everything about the date went pretty well. No awkwardness or disasters happening during the night. We parted on good terms even, although it didn't go well enough to get a kiss at the end of the night. But that's not what my question is about. I texted her maybe the next day or the day after and no reply. Long story short, she ghosted me. And I think I know why. Although everything about the date went well, I don't have the best set of teeth, you could say. I am planning to get them fixed, so this shouldn't be a long-term issue. But in the meantime, it is an issue, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. The girl who ghosted me didn't say that it was my teeth that turned her off unless you're a total jerk. Nobody's going to call me out to my face about my teeth. Looking forward now, there is a young lady that I work with that I want to get to know much better, etc. But I still have these same teeth. So I'm wondering if I should even put myself out there and attempt to get to know this current crush interest, or just lay low until I can fix my teeth. I give people the benefit of the doubt, but I know that women can't help it if they aren't attracted because of the shitty teeth. I feel like I've got one legit shot with this girl I work with, and I don't want to blow it or get out automatically in the friend zone due to my teeth situation. Have any advice for me at all? Any help would be much appreciated. Okay, Andrew, long question here, long email, but it's fine. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the context. Because if you just kind of said, hey, I think I have bad teeth and it's making my dates screwed up, what should I do? That wouldn't be a great question, because I won't be able to go in detail since you have given me such detail here. But here's the deal. There's a few things I want to discuss with in terms of this question, because we're hitting a couple of main points. Okay, so first, let's talk about one of the biggest points, which is your looks. What if you're a guy who really believes he's ugly? Now, let me tell you something really quickly. Okay, your opinion on yourself, looks-wise, first of all, doesn't matter. Okay, it does not matter. You could think you're the most good-looking guy. You can think you're the ugliest guy. Why that doesn't matter is because women across the board have different, basically physical attraction is subjective. All right, so women all around the world have different types. Some women like big, fat guys. Some women, well, a girl once told me this. She likes a guy who looks like he's been doing heroin. I'm not kidding. A girl said this to me once. And no, she's not into drugs. And no, she doesn't do heroin. But she likes that look, that emaciated look of a guy who's just really like droopy eyes and like really skinny and looks like he's strung out and has really bad posture. Like, she likes that. Okay, so now those are two extremes. And of course, everything in between. Girls are attracted to different types of guys for whatever reason. Okay, we don't know why. Just like you, I'm sure you listening right now, you're attracted to something different than the next guy. And I know this is a fact too, because I talk to all different kinds of guys. I've had lots of coaching clients, and it's actually very rare out of all the coaching clients I've had that anyone has ever said the same type of girl. Some people say different races. Some people say different types of girls. I've seen pictures of girls that guys have sent me saying, oh, this is the girl I go for. And it's always different. This is the same thing with women, okay? Women will be attracted to all different types of guys, okay? So you might have bad teeth, but you know what? you might have a lot of other things going for you. Or maybe she just doesn't care about the teeth thing. And some girls do. Okay. So that's something really important you need to know is that attraction is objective. So whatever you think about yourself, you need to throw that out the window because, well, one, it's not helping your self-esteem, obviously. Right? It's not good to be saying those things to yourself. But also, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel about yourself and your looks because all girls will feel different about it as well. And also, you're kind of stuck with it. So you got to deal with it. That is, of course, unless you're like very heavily obese or extremely skinny. Yes, you can do something about it. And I suggest you do, but for health reasons, not for reasons to be attractive. Why? Why not to be attractive? Well, because this is how attraction works. It's not all about looks, okay? So I'll give my little spiel here that I've given on many different podcasts, and hopefully you know this so well that you're like, okay, Trip, I've heard this before. And if you are saying that to yourself, then bravo to you. That means you're learning something. But you have to understand that attraction, while it does happen on a physical level with women, more so it's happening on a behavioral level, which means that she becomes attracted to your behavior more so than your looks. Okay. Yes, women are attracted to looks. Yes, she's going to say to her girlfriends, oh, I think he's cute. But the reason why she's saying that is more because of your personality. Your personality is actually creating the look for you. Okay. Why? Why is that happening? Because in terms of behavioral traits, this is how women became attracted to men thousands of years ago. Yes, this is evolutionary biology, but I've read a lot about this, and this is how it works. Okay. It's the intangibles. And also, I've learned this from actually going out and practicing, meeting girls. Guys have done the same thing. I've worked with guys who are all different types of looks. Okay, some guys who would be your typical good-looking guy, and then some guys that are really not your typical good-looking guy. And because they've worked on developing their personalities and the way they behave, their intangibles like fearlessness, like confidence, like your ability to communicate with another girl, to talk to her, to be charismatic, right? Those are the things. Those are the things right there that really, really make a big difference in terms of attracting a girl. So, Andrew, you have to understand here that you worrying about your teeth, okay, this is not doing anything for you. The fact that that girl ghosted you, you can't assume it was about your teeth. You just can't, okay? You can't do that. Why? Because you don't know for sure. And you know what? Yeah, she's probably not going to tell you if it was your teeth, okay? Even if it was at the end of the day. But again, I think that if you just gave a world-class date, like if this was an amazing date and she saw that your personality was just awesome and she was really attracted, she would look over those things, right? Girls have a really good way of just kind of rationalizing with themselves that, you know what, even though there's this thing about him that I don't really like, there's all these other things that I really do like, and boom, I really want to be with this guy, okay? So I'd say it's probably mostly because of how the date went, or maybe she just didn't have a connection. Guys, yes, okay? You could study all the material you want in the world. You can listen to my podcast, buy my programs, buy other people's programs, watch thousands of hours of videos on YouTube and hours of podcasting. And no matter what, you're not going to be able to attract every single girl if you are a master. Okay. You're just not going to be able to do it. Why? Because that's just not how it works. Because sometimes there's just not a connection. Sometimes there's just not a connection. But that's why we learn this stuff, because we're increasing your odds. Because if you don't learn this stuff, then it's going to be very difficult for you. And if you do learn this stuff, your odds of attracting more women is absolutely possible. And that's what we're doing here. We're making you not just a little bit more likely, like a lot more likely to be able to attract a lot more girls in your life when you learn the proper techniques, which I'm teaching you on the podcast and in my programs. So yes, okay, but you got to understand here, no matter what, sometimes you just don't have a connection with a girl. And that might have happened here. Andrew, that might have happened here. You maybe just didn't have a connection with this girl. And that's okay. That's all right. Maybe you felt it, but she didn't. Well, you move on. Okay. And now I'm going to move on to the next part of this question, which is so important. Oh man. Okay. So this is what I don't want. And this is what I see you doing. And I bet you that there's going to be someone listening to this podcast who's going to be nodding their head and saying, oh gosh, I do the same thing. What you're doing is you're living in scarce mentality. Scarce mentality is the opposite of abundance mentality. Scarce. Well, actually, let's look up the definition for scarce. Let's do this. Scarce, on my computer right now. Scarce definition. The actual definition of scarce is insufficient for the demand. Okay? The opposite is abundance. So that's insufficient for demand. Abundance is a very large quantity of something. So you're treating dating like there's an insufficient amount of women that you could be talking to. Why? Because there's this one girl who's at your work who you have a crush on, and you're waiting specifically. You're waiting, which could be maybe weeks. I mean, especially if you're doing something like Invisalign. I mean, holy cow, that takes a whole year, I think. I mean, at least somewhere towards a year, maybe more. I mean, hopefully not. I mean, yeah, you can't fix your teeth overnight. I don't know what you're fixing exactly. So you're telling me in this that you should wait all this time where it's not probably not even about your teeth because you're making this up to go and talk to this girl. I mean, wow, doesn't that sound crazy? Doesn't that sound desperate? Doesn't that sound like, wow, this is the only girl? You're treating it like you're on a desert island and this is the only girl that you have a shot with. This is what you're treating it like. Like, this is it. This is the girl. I got to get her because she's my crush, right? See how you've already compartmentalized it? You put this in a little box. You put this in a nice, neat little package. You said, I'm going to label this girl as my crush. And now she's my crush. And I don't see other girls around. And she maybe kind of smiled at me one day. And by the way, I'm making this up. Andrew didn't say this, but this is what I know guys are thinking. She kind of flirted me with one day. So now I like her even more because I might have a shot. I got to make sure I get this. So that's you. You're living on your scarce desert island where there's only one possible girl for you. When in reality, there are many options for girls for you, right? Many options. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, Trip, I know there's many options, but I really want this girl. Why this girl? Why? Because she's cute? Or you know what? Let's even go further. Let's say she's amazing. Let's just, she's sweet. She's cute. She's got the same, she has the same music taste as you. I know, I'm being kind of a dick right now. I'm being kind of condescending, but so be it. All right. Wow. She's perfect for you. Okay. She's perfect. You're telling me that there's not another girl out there that's going to be perfect for you? If you think no, well, let me just tell you, you're wrong because there's millions, billions, but for you, because you live in one city, millions or hundreds of thousands of women that are possible for you that, trust me, you don't know exist yet because you haven't taken the time, right? How do I know? Because this is a girl at your work. There are these little places that we meet women that we think these are the best women in the world because they're so close to us. And your data is like skewed. It's like you only know some girls that your friends know and some girls at work and that girl on the bus that you see, and that's pretty much it, right? Because you're not giving yourself actual room to meet more women. So your world is small. You live in a scarce world. You've created a scarce world for yourself. So I don't blame you. All you know is that there's this girl. I totally don't blame you. But let me tell you that there's not. And how do I know? Because people have been using the advice that I've been giving them. People have been getting into my Hooked program, which you can get, by the way, getherhooked.com. Hundreds of guys who are in the private Facebook group, Tripp's Corner, who talk about this same stuff all the time. And these guys are getting results. They're meeting women outside of their little scarce environments, and they're realizing that they have a lot of options. So my long-winded answer to you, Andrew, is that no, you do not wait, okay? I mean, listen, okay, you know what? If you're going to get your teeth fixed in like 2 to 3 weeks and they're going to be 100% fixed, like you have a gap in your teeth and they fix it right away, you know what? Fine, wait, because I know that's going to give you a little bit more confidence, right? Again, I'm not saying wait because now you have pretty teeth and she's going to like you more. No, it's because I know that you're going to naturally have some more confidence and that's going to help. But, if you got to wait months and months and months, then you're setting yourself up for a mindset of basically scarcity, which is going to lead to failure because all of a sudden, can you imagine your confidence is going to be shot when all of a sudden you get your teeth, you think that now you have a better shot and you've been waiting months and months and finally you go and talk to her and it doesn't work out. You're going to be so disappointed. You're setting yourself up. So you know what? Get this over with. So put yourself out there now with that girl. Because what I want you to do is, hey, maybe it's going to work out. Maybe it's going to work out and you guys are going to have a great time together. Maybe this will be a girl you can start to date. But you know what? Get through that and then enter through the door of abundance. And outside through that door of abundance is so many women that you won't even know what to do with. So if you wait all this time to get good teeth and you don't practice the stuff I teach you on the podcast, on my YouTube channel, or on my Hooked program, again, at getherhooked.com, if you don't learn that stuff and go out there and use it, you are going to lose it, my friend. This is a skill. It needs to be honed. It needs to be practiced. You need to be putting yourself out there. You need to be talking to a lot of girls. My philosophy all lies in the idea of going out and talking to more and more girls so you become more comfortable. Whether you have bad teeth, whether you have amazing teeth, whether you have been told all your life that you are such a good looking guy, or your whole life that you're an ugly guy, or you were made fun of when you were a kid and you were too fat, or you made fun of as a kid because you were too skinny, or because you're balding, or because you're short, or because you're in a wheelchair, or for any other physical reason about yourself, it doesn't matter. The time is now. Yes, you who is listening, the time is now. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect pickup line. Stop waiting for the perfect set of teeth. Stop waiting for the chiseled jaw or the muscles. Stop waiting for all that stuff. Stop worrying and waiting about developing the superficial parts that women aren't even attracted to. Okay? I know as a guy, you're thinking that women think that way because you might be thinking that way because when you see a girl that's really cute, that's what makes you attracted. You want to go over and talk to her. So naturally, we're thinking, oh, well, that's how attraction works because that's how it works for me. So that's how it works for girls. But that's not the case. So you need to bust through that myth and you need to believe me when I say we develop our personalities here at TripAdvice and it works. I'm not just saying this to kind of like, stand on my soapbox and say, let's not be superficial. I mean, I'm really telling you, this is like the science behind it. Like, this is what works. I've seen guys who are not good looking guys who don't have money and attract amazing girls. It happens all the time, especially at TripAdvice, especially in Trip's Corner. Again, that's my secret Facebook group that you get access to when you get one or more of my programs. So it's up to you, my friend. Which route do you want to go? Do you want to go down route number 1, where it's all about looks, or route number 2, where it's about your personality? Which one gives you more leverage? Which one can you actually develop and which one can you change? Yeah, I hope you pick route 2. All right, there you go. That's today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. I said some good stuff here, and hopefully you listen to this again because this was an important one. Hope I shifted some mindsets here, and Andrew, I hope I helped you out. Let me know. Email me back, trip@tripadvice.com. You rock. I'll talk to you later.